We should be live. Should be live. Show me
What?
the infinite window. I need to see that.
Let YouTube catch up with you. There's
There it
live.
is. I see the infinite window. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Post-Apocalyptic News Radio, your only source for the latest goings-on in the little corner of the post-apocalyptic wasteland we call home. Today, we are live at the bottom of the hour. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are here for some good old-fashioned Dungeons & Dragons. Last we left off, we're going to take a look into the memories of one Mr. Ketud. Ketud, what happened last time?
Last time, previously on Souls of the Forsaken Souls of the... What's it called? Souls of the Forsaken. Does it not have a... That's all it is?
That's all it is.
Okay. Last time on Souls of Forsaken, we had our four adventurers, Ketud, Bella, Alastor, and Nephylia, wake up and realize that they were in a memory of Ketud's, that being inside of the chamber of a giant dragon. Now the three, or the four I should say, proceeded to fight out the last of the kobolds that were trying to harass a poor halfling girl by some cages, and the group were able to free the other halflings that were in these cages. After some banter between the both of them, they realized that there was no immediately way out to get out from the cavern that the dragon had held Ketud captive so many years ago. So the four, after parting ways with the freed halflings, began to carefully search about for an escape route from the cavern. Bella, being the artistic and crafty one of the group, successfully found a secret invisible wall that had been somewhat hidden while she was trying to climb for a better viewing angle. While she was doing this, she realized that this wall wasn't really a wall, but just an illusion that led to a hallway that led to a very particular room. After some daring, after some daring adventure in a singularly long hallway filled with traps and evil contraptions, the group of four managed to break their way into a room of treasure. And this room of treasure had beautiful gold strewn about the entirety of the room. There was furniture and there was beautiful coins and jewelry, amidst with some not so particularly ornate items, such as some regular items like a letter and some interesting cat statues. Bella immediately went into the room and closed the door behind her, followed by the rest of the group, who very angrily burst into the room, wondering what had befallen Bella. Bella, awestruck by the beautiful riches and jewelry, proceeded to instantly go off on her own and start swimming, more or less, literally in the piles of gold. While Alastor proceeded to chase her, Nephylia and Ketud very carefully explored the room and tried to find out what exactly they were in. After several minutes of amusing chase between Alastor and Bella, cornered by Alastor, listened to him berate her before she started noticing something particular about Alastor's shadow. Alastor's shadow was growing significantly, and frightfully so, to the point where it was bringing up some very alarming memories for Bella, as not too long ago she had found herself in a very dark room with a mysterious and deadly shadow figure. Ketud, seeing this, felt the same way, as he too had seen it many, what could be days, but possibly just hours ago. A very monstrous-looking shadow growing behind Alastor. As the shadow grew, piles of coin and jewelry began to scatter, uncovering a very certain mirror in one corner. Bella, seeing this, rushed to the mirror to try to see what it was, only to unfortunately get sucked in and unable to escape. Trapped behind the glass for some time, Bella and Alastor, and told the other group as best they could, Bella's point of view, to not approach the glass in any way, shape, or form. However, Ketud and Nephylia, realizing the glass was not going to trap them, proceeded to very carefully look upon the glass and realize that there was a way to pull Bella from the mirrored world that she was stuck in. After several minutes of searching for any artifacts, such as some way to get her out, they uncovered a book written in Draconic and successfully were able to translate a certain word to free Bella from her prison. Bella being freed and Alastor making amends, Nephylia and Ketud came to the conclusion that now would probably be a good time to rest. And so the rest of the group, realizing that maybe some rest could be beneficial to the group, decided to settle in for a long, very much needed rest. And that is where we are now.
And so we continue our story of the Forsaken Souls. We are taking our rest here amongst the glimmering gold. What is everybody doing?
I believe I had third watch, and Nephilia had fourth. I think Alastor had first?
Yes, Alastor had first, I had second. You had third, and then Nephi had fourth.
Okay.
So I am Schlep.
You are schlepped? So that means you're out?
I am going to do the big Schlep.
Okay. Ketud is going to try to find some kind of corner that he can rest himself into as well. He finds like a small little pile of gold, I guess, and very carefully crawls into it, I guess. You know, somewhat similar to that of his halfling home that he was so fond of. He did like Ness quite fondly. What will Alastor be doing?
Well, since Alastor's on first watch, I think he would be kind of stationed somewhere where he can see exits and entrances, and he'd be listening for any rustling or any sounds that would be, that would cause alarm.
Okay.
Alrighty. There's only one way in and one way out that you know of. And so I imagine you've positioned yourself safely and far enough away that you would not necessarily grab the attention of anybody coming in, but you can watch. Thank you. And so the night shall begin. Alastor, go ahead and give me a perception roll for your watch.
That's going to be a grand total of 13.
As everybody lies down and passes out for a much-needed rest, everything appears to be okay, as far as you can tell. Is there anything you should like to do during your watch?
Other than keeping watch and an ear out, I assume that he would be reading over the draconic common thing that they found, just perusing it.
Alrighty. An hour passes, 2 hours pass, and your watch is over.
Who was on second watch? I don't remember.
Hi.
Okay, I saw Pilot light up. I didn't hear anything.
I said hello.
Oh. So, okay. Well, then Alastor would go and make his way over to Bella and attempt to wake her.
Bella's going to look up at Alastor, groggy, stand up, drop to all fours and stretch like a cat, obviously. Stand back up. And she's going to she's going to put her paws in front of her and she's going to make a shooing motion.
In that case, I'll go sleep now. And he walks off to attempt to find a place that's suitable for his too tall for this area body.
So, Seamus, the door that enters into the room, does it open inwards towards Bella, or does it go open outwards towards the hallway?
It opens in towards the treasure room.
Okay. So what Bella is going to do, Bella is going to grab one of the chairs and post it up underneath it in a manner of like semi-locking the door, as it were.
All right.
Okay? And then she is going to grab a handful of coins, and she is going to set them against the door so that if something does somehow manage to open it, she'll hear it.
All right. Give me a quick survival. You only need a 5 for this.
Right. Where is my dice? 19.
Yeah, you without any problem, you get the chair propped up against the door. You get a good feeling it's not going to go anywhere, not easily, and then you gingerly place a couple of coins so that it's almost like a shop bell when somebody opens the door. You know, you'll hear them clanging against the floor.
Mm-hmm. And then from there, Bella is going to wander around the room and see if she can find anything against the walls. Like any hidden passageways, anything that would just be around that would catch her interest.
Investigation.
Where is it? That's gonna be an 11.
As you wander around the walls, seeing if there are perhaps any more illusory walls or something you've missed, anything at all, there should be more to the hoard of a dragon after all. You find naught but the carved stone walls from one end to the other.
Okay. I do have to ask, are these carved stone walls, do they look like they've been hand chiseled by like kobolds or something of our size, or does this place look like it's been dug out by a dragon?
So as you're kind of examining the walls, you know, looking for anything you've missed, I think you would notice that the walls, they're not evenly carved out. This is no dwarven hall. This is no naturally formed cave either. You can see claw marks just everywhere that have dug away at the rocks, although they are much too small to be a dragon.
Okay. Alright. Well, finding nothing, Bella is going to... What's around the room?
Gold. Lots of gold.
Anything other than gold.
There are mounds of gold, pure gems, flawless. There's some gilded furniture around. A couple of gilded pieces of dishware. You see these very fine silver and gold bowls. A nice candelabra, too. I think you would find a taper made out of pure platinum.
God, why you gotta tempt me like this, Post? These pieces of furniture, do any of them have any like cloth on them, like a cushion?
I'll roll for it. Yeah, I think the gilded table where the letter was found. There are 2 chairs on either side, and they have these lovely and so very soft. They're velvet red cushions.
Mm-hmm. Bella is going to set herself to work, cutting off the cushions and taking the cloth from them.
All right. It's gonna take you like 20 minutes to get it all cut off, nice and clean, like.
Yeah.
Especially since you've got a knife. 20 minutes, you get it.
Okay. And that's just like 2 strips of red velvet cloth?
Roughly, yeah. Like they're cushion size, so it's not a lot of cloth, but it's something.
Okay. Bella's just gonna pack that into her pack, as it were, and she's just gonna take a seat and continue and just finish her watch.
All right. Give me a perception for your watch.
Okey-dokey. That's a 6.
As you sit there, waiting, hours go by. You have your cloth, you've explored the room. Now you're doing your duty and keeping your teammates safe. You listen closely. See if there's anything moving about. Surely it would shift the piles of coins. Surely it would trigger your makeshift alarm. Yet, to your keen ears, you hear nothing. Perhaps you're distracted by the glimmering gold around you, by that platinum taper, by the candelabra. You do not know, but as far as you can tell, nothing has entered this room.
Is that the end of her watch?
2 hours pass, and Bella's watch is at an end.
Bella is going to walk over to Ketud. She's going to kind of shake him awake.
Before that moment, before you wake up Ketud, you've been sleeping now for 4 hours. You're feeling a little strange. It's almost as if you're falling, but you are stationary, and you know this. You consciously know that you are asleep, yet you cannot wake up. And you start to see things. Floating in a void, you watch the cave you are in materialize before you. You are floating there, and your party members are standing about. Though you are not in the treasure room, you are in the main chamber, where the dragon looms in the dark, in the haze of green. You can hear the thunderous steps, the loud breathing, the flapping of its wings. And in an instant, the haze is gone as you see its mighty wings flap. It stares at the party, but not at you. You watch as this monster, this reaper of death, chomps down on one of your friends. You watch as it crushes another. You watch as another is dissolved in a breath so terrible as it is indescribable. You watch this happen again and again and again, but never to you. Then you hear a voice. It is clear as a bell. It's an awful fate that awaits you, and you're going to have to make a choice, but it's not much a choice. We'll talk soon. And then you feel something shaking you. It's Bella.
Thank you, Bella.
My ears.
Yeah. Sorry, just the coins slipped.
Yeah, there we go.
You see anything, Bella?
Uh-uh.
Alright.
I'm gonna kind of take him over, show him the rig I've got set up.
What rig?
The thing against the door and the.
There's nothing against the door.
Oh no!
What are you trying to do right now?
Bella is gonna swing round to Ketud's backside and draw her daggers.
Cat, what, Bella? Are you okay? What's happening?
I put something against the door, or I put a chair against the door, and I put coins against the door so it would alarm us. They're gone.
The coins are gone, or I don't see them. There's no coins here at all. Wouldn't they have been knocked over?
Like I said, I put them there. They're gone.
All right. Ketud's gonna see if he can detect any magic, just passively.
Detect magic. That's one of your spells, right?
No, that's not a spell.
Okay, that's
that
one of your warlock things.
Nope, neither. I'm just
Okay.
trying to see if there's any magic in the room.
I gotcha. Give me an Arcana check.
No special powers, unfortunately.
I gotcha. Just making sure.
That's a. Is it? I always forget. Is it natural if you have to add in the intelligence to it?
No,
or
if the die face is showing a 20, it's a natural 20. Otherwise, no.
Then it's a natural 20.
All right.
In that case.
So, Ketud, you start looking around to see if you can see any signs of magical shenanigans, any runes anywhere, any glimmer that is not the gold about you. You do not see anything at first, although you feel it in your gut. There is something magical in this room. You feel as though you've been very near it for quite some time.
Bella, I don't know if you can feel it. I don't have any particular way of just telling what it is, but I sense there's magic in the room right now.
Is it the mirror?
I don't know. It feels like it's. I feel like the mirror didn't really emit any magic besides, like, when you got captured. I feel like this is like we're almost in a haze of it right now. I feel like a lot of it's on me, particularly. Ked's gonna look at himself and see if there's anything different about himself.
You kind of give yourself a once-over. You notice that the black of your hand is starting to spread.
Bella is going to look at Ketud. Does she see this blackness on his hand?
I already showed you all. You probably would. I mean, if I'm doing like this, I'm
Okay.
sure you would see it.
All right. How fast is it spreading post?
It's not terribly fast. It's barely noticeable. Before, it was just your hand, but now it's gone just past your wrist.
Oh, that's interesting.
Bella's gonna look around the room, see if there's anything in there with them, as it were. Like, anything that isn't gold, isn't Alastor, Nephi, or Ketud.
Investigation.
God, I am just rolling dog shit. 8.
In a panicked state, you watch as Bella starts frantically searching about the room to see if there's anything at all here, anything that should not be here, anything that you don't expect to be here. She runs over to Alastor. Alastor's fine and asleep. Runs over to Nephylia, who is also fine and asleep. Checks the door, and there's nothing. Checks the walls, and there is nothing. The best that you can tell, Bella, nothing has changed in this room.
Ketud's gonna crack open the door and look out the hall and see if there's anything over there. He's gonna let Bella know this first. Bella, I'm gonna open the door real quick to see if there's anything outside. And he's gonna crack open the door and see if he sees anything out in the hallway.
Well, that's just the thing. You don't see anything in the hallway. It's almost as if the debris from the broken trap has been cleared away.
Is it like, okay. So it looks like normal, right? Like how we first saw it?
It is how you first witnessed it before you ever touched a pressure plate.
Okay. Bella, I don't know what the heck is happening in this room. Ketud's gonna go ahead and, he's gonna identify where the switch was again, if he can. Make sure that the switch is still there.
I think that's easy enough.
He's gonna then pick up one of the coins from the room. He's gonna use his mage hand and drag it into the hallway and drop it on a stone carefully, like not like in the air, like he's gonna like set it on the stone. Or actually, wait, I don't even need to do that. I can apply pressure. I forget the coin. He's just gonna use mage hand and press on one of the stones very carefully on the floor.
You watch as your mage hand glides over and presses down, and you hear a loud, audible click, and nothing happens.
Okay, Ketud's gonna snap his fingers, get rid of the mage hand, and close the door, and look at Bella and be like, I don't know what's happening out there, but it's clean out there now, except the trap doesn't work still. It's still broken. I don't know what's happening. That's freaky.
Bella is going to kind of shrug her shoulders. Well, there's nothing in here with us right now. I don't think anything came in through the door. I would have heard it.
Yeah.
I think it's like the snow.
It could be. Yeah, I guess it could be restarting like that. I don't know. Maybe you go ahead and get some sleep, and I'll sit by the door. So if I feel anything try to like come through, then it will like hit the door, and I'll feel it. Okay.
Okay. Bella is going to go over to Nephylia, and she's going to curl up and lay down next to her.
And so you do. Nephylia does not stir from her slumber.
All right. So with Ketud's back against the door now, he's sitting right now. I reckon he'll probably just sit there for about 30 minutes, trying to like hear anything that's happening behind the door. Like he might put his ear to the door every now and then. But if nothing happens in those 30 minutes, then he's just gonna sigh and pull out his dagger and start doing his a religious ritual on the dagger.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. That one was a 18.
Okay. You're sitting there listening. The room is silent. You're listening for anything in the hall, anything in this room, anything at all. Any signs of danger. You, of all the party, are keenly aware of the dangers in this place. There is nothing until the last moment. It's not in the hallway. It's in this room. You hear a clattering of coins. The sliding, as if somebody's misstepped.
Kid is going to look up sharply and see where the noise was. Does he visually see anything, or besides the coins sprinkling?
You don't visually see anything. You don't even see coins sliding. But you know the direction the sound came from. It was from the back of the room.
Ketud's going to go ahead and stand up and walk to the back of the room. And he's going to stand like about 5 feet from where he heard the noise and just stare at the spot. Does anything happen?
Nothing seems to happen at this spot.
He's going to continue to stare at it, just without blinking, and just whisper out, "Is someone there?"
You whisper. You listen. No.
Oh, God damn it. Ketud's just gonna his face is just gonna slide down a little bit into a frown as he hears this half-witty no, and he's just gonna be unamused when he hears this. And he just, okay, well, contrary to the belief, spirit or aberration or whatever you may be, I just heard you say no. So forgive me if I'm presumptuous in thinking this, but I think something is here. Could you show me yourself?
It is silent.
For a few seconds or just continuously?
It is continuously silent.
All right, then I'm going to intimidate this sucker if I can, and I'm going to go ahead and start. I guess I'll go ahead and pull out my dagger in one hand and pull out, or have an Eldritch Blast in my other, and just slowly start cooking off an Eldritch Blast in my hand without actually shooting it off. I'm just gonna make my hand start glowing, right, with the dagger right next to it, so the dagger glistens a little bit, and I'm gonna say, "Come on now, I want you to show yourself, or otherwise something bad is gonna happen. You see all these friends? I don't want to have to wake them up."
Roll intimidation.
What the God? That's the stat I'm proficient in, and I got a crappy roll for it. I got a 10 for that.
You hear, and it's a little bit away from you now, on top of one of the gold piles, kind of adjacent to where Alastor is sleeping, you hear a very faint giggling sound.
Ketud's gonna turn his head to the gaze or to the sound and start walking carefully. Amidst the coins, try not to make any noise to wake the others, but he's gonna walk again, and he's gonna try to intimidate this thing once more and say the same thing. Except it's not gonna be the same thing. It's gonna just be, this is your last chance. Show me yourself, or I'll go wake up the mage caster, the shadow sorcerer, and we'll see what kind of wicked deeds he can do to you.
Go ahead and roll intimidation again. It's going to be a little bit of a harder check.
Yeah, but I got a 9 that time, so.
Well. You hear nothing, but then a shadow is cast over you. You feel a drop in your stomach. Something is behind you, and it's very, very large.
Yeah, the Eldritch Blast is going to snuff out instantaneously as he loses concentration on it and spin around, and he's going to look at what's behind him.
You spin around, and behind you, it's a creature most terrifying. Floating in the air with tendrils uncountable, eyes at the end of every one. It is a floating orb, a gaping maw with a single eye in the center. Gnarled teeth grin at you.
Okay, so Ketud is gonna the color's gonna drain from his face a little bit as he sees this, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, perhaps I mistook you for someone else. You own this place, don't you?" He's gonna take a step back a little bit, and as he sees this thing in front of him, and he's just gonna say, he's not gonna say anything. He's just gonna say that you own this place, don't you?
The creature floats there and does not move.
Doesn't say anything either.
Not a word.
I'm gonna look at my friends on the ground and ponder my decision that I can make, and I'm gonna look back at them and just casually say, "Hey, I don't know, is this your treasure room? Like, I don't know if this is, but I promise you, the only thing I've taken was some cats. I mean, are those particularly important to you, sir? I think you're a sir. Are you a sir, or are you something else? What do you identify as?
You hear a voice. Yes, those are terribly important to me. You should set them down on that table by the door. Give me a quick perception check.
Okay. I got an 18 again. I guess I'm good at perception, but not my actual charisma, which is my main stat. Okay.
The voice seemed to come from the creature, but somebody was throwing their voice there.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Or sneaker's sake. Ketty's gonna just give a cockeyed stare and just be like, you know, is it rude of me to think that you would have a different voice than that?
The creature says nothing.
Ketty's gonna just, yeah. What is the significance of the cats to you, might I ask?
The creature still says nothing.
Are you real at all? Can you say anything? What are you?
Put the cats by the door on the table.
Ketty's just gonna very confusedly take the cats out and put them on the table, but he's gonna like not break eye contact with the thing. He's just gonna walk like backwards and put them on and keep on looking at the thing.
The creature does not move, nor says a word.
I put the cats on the table. Can you have a conversation with me? Like, you're very, I don't know. I figured that the person torturing the 4 souls in here and countless others, it seems, would be a bit more talkative. Is there anything you want to like say that's foreboding to us, or isn't this in the tip? I've read a few stories in my day. Isn't this the typical time when the villain like gives us a big bad story or something, or his evil plot gets revealed a little bit?
Give me a persuasion.
God damn, that's another 9. Wait, no, that's persuasion, and that's not intimidation. That's a 7.
The creature, it's like floating there, bobbing up and down in the air. The tendrils with the eyes at the end of them are just kind of wavering, but it says not a word.
Kid's just gonna look at the back of the table and break eye contact finally and see if the cats are still there. Are they still there?
There are no
on the
cats.
table? Okay, good. All right, that's what I thought. Okay, I don't know what you are. Kid is gonna just like take out his dagger. I think you're if I may be so, actually, he's gonna sheath the dagger. He's gonna put out his he's gonna take off the cloth that's from the table, right where the cats were, and he's just gonna throw it at the thing and see what happens.
Give me an improvised weapon roll.
Oh, I don't want to attack. I just want to throw the blanket.
Yeah, this is just to make sure it hits it.
Oh, okay. Do I roll a d20?
Yeah, roll a d20. I'm gonna say since it's a thrown weapon, add your dex modifier.
Okay. That's a 21 then.
So the you watch as the cloth soars through the air. You've like balled it up like a basketball. And you're just trying to hit this thing. And you watch as the cloth sails through it. And the creature becomes transparent.
Okay, Kedget's mad now. All right, game's up. Who the heck is in the room with us?
There is not a word.
God, I want my freaking spells right now. God dang it. Kedget's just gonna shake his head annoyedly and go sit by the door and sit down and just continue the. He wants to do his ritual now, but he's like he just wants to like just sit there with an angry face on, just like doing the ritual while he's staring at the air in front of him. The ritual takes an hour. I don't know if that needs to be accounted for, but he's just staring at the room, wondering what the heck is annoying him. And the rest, yeah.
All right, and so you do. For an hour, you are sitting angrily in front of the door. Occasionally, you hear shifting gold, but you never see anyone, and you never really hear anyone.
Okay.
An hour goes by and your ritual is complete. Is there anything else you should like to do?
I want my dagger to disappear into my extra-dimensional space, upon which I can bring it back whenever I choose. In the meantime, I'm going to stand up and walk to the middle of the room and just, casually say, all right, I'm about to go to sleep now. You haven't done anything this entire time except annoy me with clinkering gold. Is there anything, why are you here? Is there anything you want to say before I go to sleep? I just woke up from a bad dream, and I'd rather not think about what's in this room, at least without my realization.
You hear not a word. However, next to the now transparent creature, you see a floating candelabra. And the words, ooh.
What is a candelabra?
It's like a candlestick, but with three candle holders.
All right. He sees it floating in the air, right?
Yes.
Kedud's gonna walk over to it as it's still floating in the air.
As you approach it, it falls.
God dang it.
I would help.
All right. Kedud's gonna shake his head and walk off and wake up Nephylia and Nephylia, hey, wake up. So some things happened while you were asleep. Nothing to be alarmed of. However, that I think something is with us right now, and it's playing pranks on us because it's a long story. Real quick summarized, there's something in the room that's trying to mess with me. It's made ghostly noises at me. It's summoned a minor illusion of the creature that I think might be possibly be keeping us here. And, it does not want to talk at all. You might see it. It hasn't done anything dangerous so far, but besides upturn a few coins and steal my cat statues. Or I guess it's cat statues as far as I know. I don't really know who built this place. But yeah, I'm going to go to sleep now. The last time I saw it was over there. He's going to point to a spot where like the giant black ball is, the transparent ball, and just that's the minor illusion. Don't worry about that. I just threw something out. It went right through. I'm going to try to go to sleep. Okay, and Ketud is going to, after talking to Nephylia, I don't know. Does Nephylia want to say anything?
Nephylia gets up as you wake her up, and I think takes a quick look around the room, sees the creature, which is not at all transparent to her, and lets out a loud gasp before very quickly grabbing her quarterstaff. But
wait, Nephylia, it's not real. Hold on, it's not real. It's I don't know what else to say. Just believe me, it's not real.
She looks at you quizzically and gets up and walks over to the creature, looks it up and down, and then tries to touch it, and you watch as her hand passes straight through.
You see, it's not real, like I said.
She turns back around and comes back over to where you are and agrees that it is not at all real.
Alright. Ketud is gonna just sit in the corner in a little bit of a daze and very slowly drift off to sleep, but he'll stay awake for like 30 minutes to see if anything happens, and then after 30 minutes he'll go to sleep.
Alright. So Ketud lays down and kind of keeps a watch for 30 more minutes, but is taken by tiredness and passes out after about half an hour. Meanwhile, Nephilia's watch begins. Some time passes. 2 hours pass. And Nephylia starts coming around. First to you, Alastor. You feel Nephylia put her hand to your shoulder and gingerly wake you up. Alastor?
I didn't hear a bit of that. I apologize. My 3-year-old has messed up her own TV.
Oh, gosh. Nephylia has come over to you. It is the end of her watch and the end of your rest period, and she is gingerly waking you up, her hand on your shoulder, just calmly, Alastor.
Alastor stirs awake and looks at Nephylia. Yes, I'm awake.
Nephylia nods and then goes over to Bella and does the same thing. And then to Ketud.
Yes, and I wasn't asleep, I promise. Okay, I'm awake, actually I was.
Now, very quickly, Alastor, as you wake up, you notice that the cast iron cat statue, it's in a different position and it's curled up next to you, as if it were a live cat sleeping. The same one that was taken from you, Ketud.
Alastor's going to stare at it for a second, point down, and look up at everyone. Is this a joke? Did you guys do this?
What is it? Oh, it's the cat.
Why is
you
he
guys.
here?
I guess you guys are awake now. Might as well tell y'all. Bella, Alastor, just to keep you guys on track. Bella, I think you're right. There is something in the room. However, before you freak out now,
You do see the giant creature. It's not
The
transparent to you.
that is an illusion, and there seems to be some high-pitched fella in this room right now, going about and pulling pranks on people. It seems. I don't know what its intentions may be. I tried talking to it for a little while, tried intimidating it, and it laughed at me. As far as I know, it's just some kind of benevolent spirit, apparently watching us right now. Sorry, Alastor. Those are its cats, I think, and I guess it put it beside you just for the fun of it. I don't know why, but just that big monster you see, that's an illusion. If you stick your hand through it, then it'll disappear or it can translucent, whatever it works for you.
Alastor, out of curiosity, is going to walk over to this monster and attempt to stick his hand in it.
You go and attempt to stick your hand into this creature, and it appears to be solid.
It is at this point he is going to retract his hand very quickly, turn around. It's real, it's solid, nope.
What? Nephylia I woke up and Nephylia, she put her hand through it and went right through.
Nephylia nods. Yeah, I did. It's not real, and it is still very much transparent to you, Ketud.
It's gathering power. I don't know what it's doing. I don't like it.
Well-
Bella's gonna walk over and she's gonna stab it with her dagger.
Oh no.
Well, as you walk over to this creature with your dagger, while everybody else is debating, is it real, is it fake? With your dagger, you run it into this creature, and you hear the distinct sound of tearing paper.
Oh. Bella is going to proceed to cut open the paper, open the little flap, and look inside.
Taking a look inside, you can first see that the creature is very much transparent. But you are inside a very crudely made and very swiftly made kind of papier-mâché model.
Huh?
Bella's just gonna put her blade away. She's gonna pull her head out and she's gonna pick up the model and kind of like shuffle it off to the side of where the monster is.
It is very large, though as it is papier-mâché, it is very light. So you're able to do so without any issue.
Come on, I've come up with better schemes than this.
If that isn't proof that it's not real, I don't know what is, Alastor. I don't know why you touched it and how it formed like that for you, but that thing's not real. It's realistic looking, though. The thing is that something created that apparently very crude-looking papier-mâché model that almost fooled all of us, except for Bella here, of course. Something's in the room doing these kinds of pranks, and I don't know what it's doing, but it's just chilling out right now. You can try talking to it. Maybe it'll talk to you.
Alastor's in a state of confusion. I'm sorry, he just can't comprehend what's going on because he knows he touched it.
Bella is going to silently pray that this works and going to books for the gnome god?
There's a sudden shifting in coins, as if you've gotten somebody's attention and they've swiftly turned around.
Oh yeah, there's the noise again. Look, you see, like I said, there's nothing over there, and yet there's noise.
Bella, upon hearing this, recognizes that this might possibly be somebody that she knows. I'm sorry, I have completely forgotten the name of your gnome. No wait,
This will be
no
the
wait, I have
38th
it written
time.
down.
This will be the 30th.
No one help him.
Okay.
Reese. She's going to Reese? Reese, is that you?
You hear the sound of a gold coin drop, and then silence.
Or is it Lex? Are you guys in here?
Wreaths isn't home right now. Leave a message.
What the
Bella is
heck?
going to look to where to wherever the speaking came from.
Give me a perception check to figure out which way it's...
That's a natural 20.
Sounds like it's on top of that mound of gold over there.
Bella's going to walk over to the mound of gold. She's then going to proceed to sheath her daggers, and she is going to grab a large chunk of the gold and pull it away in an attempt to make the gold fall.
And as you shift the gold, supposedly under somebody's feet, you can hear the distinct sound of somebody falling and sliding.
What?
Reeds, you can't hide from me. I know you're here already.
What's a wreaths?
Do you remember when I went missing?
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Reeds is an entity that helped me out of that place.
Oh.
You can unhide yourself, Reeds. I know you're here.
Can we trust them?
No, I'm evil. Ooh, and you see a taper floating in the air.
Really annoying, yeah, maybe.
They're interesting. They're eccentric.
Alright.
Reeds.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Reeds, they're a gnome. If you have any more chamomile tea, I would be more than happy to have a cup with you right now and talk this out.
Nothing seems to happen until you hear from the direction of the door, where that gilded table is and those chairs that you destroyed, the sound of pouring liquid, and there you see a very finely dressed gnome gentleman who is pouring tea.
I have to ask, Reeds.
Yes.
Have we had this conversation before?
This particular one, no. I don't think you guys were supposed to wind up in this room. This room isn't part of you guys. Anyway, he holds up a cup, a teacup. Tea?
Please. Bella's going to walk over and take the cup of tea.
I want you guys to know there were 5 possible encounters. This one was a 5% chance.
I am really happy that this happens.
Ketud is just so confused right now as he sees a gnome pop up in front of him by the table. He's just not saying anything. He's starstruck.
Everybody,
Alastor isn't going to say a word. He's just relieved to have a solution to the I touched it problem.
Bella is going to look over. Everybody, this is Reeds. Reeds, you already know everybody.
Yes, we've met a couple 2, 3, 30 times.
I don't ever recall seeing you once.
See, you say that every time, Mr. Ketud. I thought I was memorable. In fact, the last time we met, you said I could never forget you, Mr. Reese. But it's fine. My feelings aren't hurt. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. It confused me too the first time.
Alastor's just gonna walk up and he's gonna disregard the fact that he doesn't know this person supposedly is supposed to, and just holds out his hand and introduces himself.
And hello again to you, Mr. Alastor. And Reese passes you a cup of tea.
Alastor obliges himself in tea.
So, Reeds, what are you doing here?
Well, I wanted to see if I couldn't find anything fun. I ran out of books, so I was looking for more books in people's memories, and I found this room, and it seemed shiny, so I was going to look and see if I could find anything, and I found you guys and mountains of gold. So I thought, there should be some useful stuff in here, maybe magical stuff that I could take.
Oh yeah, there's something really magical over there, and she's gonna point to the mirror.
Oh yes, I have one of those. They're very useful.
Do you want 2 of them?
No.
Would you like to smash it with me?
Oh, you really don't want to do that?
Why not?
Well, because those mirrors, they can hold things. They can hold a lot of things, and if you break the mirror, they all come out.
Well, there's nothing in that mirror.
Reese looks at you with a grin. Do you really want to test that?
I'm sorry, speaking for you, Bella, I'd rather not imagine what kind of horrors lays in that, given this is my memory. Listen, I apologize. I don't remember you, or I'm not trying to forget you, but do you know a way out of here? me and my dear cohorts here wish to find a way out.
Well, I have a way out. I can leave whenever I want. However, I cannot get you guys out. You guys are kind of stuck here until the end.
Reese, define end.
Well, the end. You know the end, which is never the end, because then there's the other end, which is never the end, because the first end is the end, which is not the end, but the second end must be the end, for the first end isn't the end, but the second end is never the end.
Oh, okay, I understand now.
Perfect. You always
Do?
did understand me.
Well, it's... how do I explain this?
I find myself pretty literate for a halfling, and for you to understand all
Well,
that.
it's like, think about it like this. It's, so the end is inside the beside, and beside the inside, but never on top. It's always beneath. But it can be inside the beneath, but never below the beneath. Do you understand?
Wreaths is sitting next to Bella, nodding, going like,
Part of me thinks you just made that up, but for prosperity's sake, I'll say that you're right, and hope to God, or whatever God you believe in, that you're right. All right, then. If Bella or Mr. Wreaths, if there is a direction that you would choose if you were human or mortal, I guess you could say.
is that a shot against gnomes, sir?
No, not at all.
Do you have a problem with little folk?
I'm little
Hey,
myself,
hey,
as a matter of fact, and so is my friend here.
Hey, be careful what you say around him. He's a gnome god.
Yeah,
Oh, he is.
I have spooky god powers.
Ketud's gonna disregard the paper mache machine thing on his side, and he's just gonna nod his head and be like, "Uh-huh. Well, Mr. Almighty God, if you do truly seem to have a better understanding of this place than I do, as I am just a mere inhabitant, unfortunately, a consequence of this world, if you were in my position, where would you go to, for the sake of the goal of leaving this place?"
Let's see, if I were in your position... He thinks for a moment. Oh, Ketud, I'm so sorry.
For what? What?
You'll find out in the end.
Oh. The end of what? The end of getting out of this place, or the end of getting out of this, like, plane of existence?
The end.
Uh-huh. Alright, well, thank you for those cryptic messages. I will do my snickerdoodle dangest to remember them. Nephylia, have you met this entity? You've been quiet this entire time.
As a matter of fact, I have not met, Mr. Wreaths, was it? Yes, it is Mr. Wreaths. We've met before a couple of times. You tried to hit me before. I didn't appreciate it. I'm sorry. I accept your apology on the condition that you don't do it again. I think we have a deal. Good. It's good.
Has any of us tried to harm you in the past?
You have shot bolts of eldritch energy at me. Bella has thrown darts at me. Nephylia has hit me with her fist. That wasn't fun. And Alastor threw fire at me.
Uh-huh. We seem to have a problem with throwing fire and Eldritch Blast, don't we, Alastor? Ketud's just gonna, like, side glance at Alastor and give her a small grin. And Ketud's gonna look back at the gnome and say, well, on my behalf, I apologize for ever having to hit you, oh, gnome goddess of greatness, or whatever title you wish to go by.
He kind of looks down and back up, and looks at you quizzically.
He's not very smart when it comes to genders.
I see that.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's a goddess. I'm sorry. Wow.
Bella kind of snickers.
Did you happen to do that, by the way? Did you clean out that hallway?
What, out there?
Yeah.
Well, it was very annoying climbing over the ironwood, so I took it.
You took it? Where did you take it?
Elsewhere?
What is this elsewhere?
Well, this elsewhere is where that is not here, therefore it is elsewhere.
Is it a place where we could survive, perhaps?
No.
Uh-huh. Well, Mr. Wreaths, what would it take to convince you? I presume you have certain powers that we can't even imagine. What would it take to convince you to come assist us in our way of escaping this place? Specifically this cavern. I don't know if you saw the dragon out there. You might have.
Oh, yes, I've seen that dragon many times. He's part of yours.
Mm-hmm. Actually, on that thought, if you've seen him multiple times, is there a particular timeline, let's just say, that I don't die from him?
Oh, Ketud, you haven't figured it out yet, have you?
I don't believe I have. For me, this is my first time.
Well, don't worry. Everything will work out. In the end.
Which way is the end? Is it down that hallway?
Yes.
Alright.
Alright, well. Thanks for the tea wreaths.
You are welcome. I feel bad for harassing you, Ketud. I'm sorry. I will offer you a little bit, not a lot, a little bit of help. And if anybody asks you if I helped you guys, you ain't never heard of wreaths.
We'll say it was the other eldritch deity that was capable of breaking in here.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
And you can, by all means, thank you.
Good. So Wreaths walks over to where you were kind of sleeping, Ketud. And you'll remember you were kind of using one of the mundane items found in this room. It was a cloak as a sort of pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Wreaths picks it up, walks over, and passes it to you, Ketud. You're going to want this.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's what you might call enchanted.
All right, then. It felt like it was something unique. Ketud will put it on in front of the gnome and say thank you to the gnome.
You're welcome. Spend some time with it, get accustomed to it, and you'll figure out what it does.
Very well.
Wreaths walks over to Nephylia and pulls out from his pocket the deck of cards that she was hanging on to. I will return these to you, I suppose. Thank you. Yeah, those are magical cards. You see that beholder over there? What's a beholder? That creature over there, that's a beholder. So yeah, that's what's called a deck of illusions. You pull a card, you throw it, and boom. Illusory creature. Completely useless after you throw the card, but it stays there. Walks over to Bella, pulls from his pouch. Well, I know I had two of these. In one hand, he's holding the cat statue, and it looks like he's looking for another one, but he can't find it. Here you go, Bella.
Bella takes the cat statue.
Hang on to it. Spend some time with it. Maybe like an hour or so. You'll figure out what it does.
Uh-huh.
Let's
She
see.
kind of like looks at him like kind of like her eyes kind of slant like, why?
Hey, if you don't want it, I'll keep it.
I never said I didn't want it.
Well,
It's
okay
just,
then.
You know, I irony.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll keep it.
No, it's mine now.
Well, okay then.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I did. Wreaths now walks over to Alastor. And this one's for you. A heart for the Tin Man. Merry Christmas.
Alistair's going to take whatever it is.
It's a black cowl that you guys had found in here before. It's very soft, very plush. Spend some time with it. You'll figure it out. Anyway, you guys have fun.
As much as we can. Thanks, Wreaths.
You're welcome. And he reaches into his coat, and he pulls out. It looks like a tuning fork. He flicks it, and he's gone.
You said you met him before, Bella?
He's eccentric. Do you remember when I got lost in that up in the church in the cathedral?
No, yeah, you mentioned him. I asked you a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he's one of the things that I met up there. Calling him a person is tantamount to calling Alastor short.
I see.
But he's more of an entity than anything else. It doesn't matter. I also met another guy up there. Very nice, very professional, proper.
He gave you one of those cat statues that I found earlier, right?
Yes.
I wonder if he was looking for this one too. And Ketud's gonna go to where Alastor was sleeping and pick up the one that was left by Alastor and show it to Bella and give it to Bella.
Okay. Bella now takes the cat statue. She now has 2 cat statues. Bella's going to put them in her bag.
Just between you and me, you look better than the cat statues.
Why, thank you. I think I've slept long enough. Have you slept long enough?
As most as I could, yeah. Nephylia, Alastor?
Yeah, plenty of sleep.
Nephylia nods.
Wow.
Alright. Looks like it's the same way out as it was in.
Yep.
Does anyone want any last trinkets here?
The last time I took a trinket, I almost got stuck in a mirror. I'm good.
Alright.
Alistair's just going to shake his head no, but he is going to make the effort to put on the cowl that was given to him.
Alright, Ketud will go ahead and open up the door after Alastor's done putting on the cloak, and will lead the way back out. He'll make sure to once again test the floor and to make sure that nothing happens.
You test the floor, and it is solid. I imagine you kind of press on one of the pressure plates.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of push down on one of the pressure plates. It sinks down. There's an audible click, and then nothing.
Alright. Ketud will walk through it. Along with the rest, I'm presuming.
And as you walk through the hall, passing by each pressure plate, click, 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 suddenly, nothing happens. And you pass through the hall without incident.
Bella's falling closely behind, and once they reach basically the as it were entryway, she is going to hold everybody up, lower herself down as close to the ground as she can, and go to one of very, very corners, and she is going to stick just her eyes out of the porthole. Not the porthole, of the illusion. Just her eyes.
All right. And you stick your eyes out and you get to looking around. There's a thick green haze. You can see the silhouette of the dragon in the distance. Thundering footsteps. The flapping of wings. You can smell the sulfur in the air. You can see smaller shadows, smaller silhouettes of the cultist meandering about.
Okay. Are there any of them really close to us?
None close to you guys. I think the nearest one is maybe 40 feet away.
Okay. Bella is going to kind of wave everybody forwards. She's going to slide out and kind of drop to the ground as soft as she can. And she's going to just wait for everybody to come on out.
All right.
Nephylia and Alastor, when I give you the signal, we're going to stick to the same plan as we did a little while ago. The same signal. I'm going to make the same little noise in your ears, okay? This time it's going to be the same clicking noise that we heard from the traps, okay? It's going to be very quiet. It's going to be right by your ears, all right?
Nephylia nods.
Okay. Alastor?
Alastor nods as well.
All right. Ketud will follow Bella very
Alright.
carefully.
Bella is going to... She's not going to hide, per se, as it were, because she's still wearing one of the cultist's cowls. Okay? She's going to rely more on that as a way of staying undetected. And she's going to walk against the far side of the cavern and just keep following until they reach a certain area.
All right. Ketud, are you trying to be stealthy, or are you also wearing one of the cultist robes?
I can imagine that Ketud would have put the cultist robe over top of the other robe as well.
All right. I want you to, rather than stealth, to roll me a deception.
Excellent.
I got a 13.
I got a 21.
And so you guys are sneaking around. You come up to the first set of shadows. You get closer to them, and you can see the two kobolds. They seem to be talking to one another in a sort of draconic language that you cannot understand. One of them looks over at you quizzically. It's clear that they cannot see very well in this haze. One cocks its head. They seem suspicious of you, though they do not act. It's less that they seem suspicious of you, Bella, but more that their attention is focused on Ketud.
And I give the signal, run. Okay? You're gonna run back that way. I don't think they know that I'm there. I don't think that they know that I'm not one of them. And then I'm gonna stab them from behind. Okay?
Am I running to Nephylia and to Alastor, or am I running away?
Yeah, run in that general direction. Okay? Bella is going to pretend to look behind. Okay? So like the cowl moves so that it looks like she's looking behind at Ketud, and then she's gonna go run.
All right. Ketud's gonna run alongside the wall and just try to keep himself look like he has something to do. Like he's gonna tilt his head into one direction, like something called his name, and then he's gonna start running.
The two cultists start approaching you, Bella.
Mm-hmm. Bella's gonna keep her back turned, and she's gonna keep pretending to look at where
Ketud.
Ketud went. Okay, and she's gonna start walking forwards, and she's gonna kind of semi kind of gesture and wave her arm underneath the cloak, kind of gesturing them forwards, and she's gonna start walking forwards, like leading them.
They seem to be following, but it also sounds like they're talking to you. From behind you, you can hear their draconic language.
Bella is going to kind of slightly turn her head, and not gonna reveal her face from behind the cowl, but she's going to, underneath the cowl, kind of pat her chest and then make a cutting motion behind on her throat and kind of shake her head.
Give me a performance.
Come on, swashbuckler.
Oh, where's my performance? Oh, 21! I rolled a 19 plus 2!
They both look at each other and look back at you, and they seem hesitant, but they continue following.
Okay. I'm going to lead them all the way to where Ketud and Alastor are. Okay. And I'm going to try to lead them up into the room where the Alastor and Nephy are hiding.
Oh my god. You freaking abandoned me. I'm on a pillar like 30 feet away from I can't see you guys anymore.
I was trying to get you to run back to them, and I'm trying to get them.
You didn't specify, you just said run.
I said, you asked if you should run back to Nephy and Alastor, and I
You
said
said run in a general direction, and I was like, all right. So now I'm hiding behind some pillar like 30-ish feet away, hoping that you know what you're doing.
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
Keep doing it.
It's just working too good. Bella's gonna lead them back to Alastor and Nephy, and is going to hop up inside the illusion and kind of like wave them inside.
You hop up into the illusory wall, and the two of them kind of jump back, startled.
The cloak comes out of the wall and kind of waves them inside.
They start whispering to each other. You can hear it.
Bella's gonna pop her head out, like, just so that the cloak is kind of, hiding her face, and just look and see if they're still there.
They are still there.
She's gonna again kind of wave them inside, and she's gonna do the woo, wiggle your arms out, but under the cloak again.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage.
Okay, first one is an 18, and second one is a 19. Okay, 18.
I think the one on the right approaches slowly and kind of feels the wall. And now kobolds are not terribly tall, so kind of reaching around trying to figure out how you got in there, and then reaches up and finds where the illusion begins and starts trying to pull himself up.
Bella is going to walk over and help him, pull him in, then wrap him up and grab his mouth as much as she can. And she's going to gesture to Nephylia and Alastor, just kind of like, help me.
Initiative.
Oh, I can't believe this works.
Have fun, guys.
16.
$17.
Hey.
All right. And so you help this kobold up, and you can see the recognition in this creature's eyes as it sees Nephylia and Alastor, and it gets a better look at you, and it opens its mouth to alert as to your presence, but you've won the initiative. How do you stop it?
I wrap up its mouth and just grab its face and pull it inside.
All right.
Entirely.
All right, we're going to do a grapple check here. So give me a strength. He's going to contest with his athletic. My D20 fell behind my
computer. That is a 14 plus 1, so 15.
Cool. My D20 fell. Give me a second. Got it. So with a 3, you manage to grapple the kobold and kind of wrap it up in your cloak a little bit so that it can't alert. Not terribly well.
It's very much like that scene from which, like, you know, when one of those animal handlers grabs the face of a crocodile and snaps its mouth closed.
Yeah.
It's that.
I gotcha.
It's that, and she's just rolled it inside the cave.
I gotcha. Anything else?
She is going to try to knock it onto the ground to make sure that it's prone and that it can't move away from her.
Okay, that's going to be another action. You'll have to wait till your next turn to do that.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a bonus action. Okay,
No,
so let me check what I can do with my bonus action. Actions, bonus actions. Does the kobold have any weapons on it currently?
Not that you know of.
Okay. Does it have anything that I can visually see on it other than the cloak?
It's got on the cloak. It's got some piecemeal armor. It's got a leather belt on. There's a pouch connected to that belt.
Mm-hmm. Bella's gonna use fast hands, and she's going to steal the belt off.
Poor kobold's in for the worst day of his life.
Of the kobold.
All right. As I understand it, both of your hands are occupied at keeping its mouth shut. So how are you doing this?
Okay. She is using her feet.
Give me a dexterity check.
Oh my god. Yes!
What you got?
Yes! I rolled a 22.
All right. So as you're holding this creature's mouth shut, you wrap your feet up and around to kind of figure out what's up with that pouch. And at first you're like trying to get the belt off, but that's a little hard to do with your feet, but you do manage to get the pouch loose.
Oh my god. This is glorious. Alright, that's the end of my turn. I have no more actions, and I can't move while I'm grappling.
Alastor, what's up?
Alright, so one occultist is being grappled. Was there a second one?
You don't know.
Oh, I'm nowhere near, am I?
This first cultist is in front of you. You don't know if there are any more.
Great. Pardon me while I also wrestle the gnome.
She's got her own gnome to wrestle.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
Since this first one's in a grapple, I guess Alastor's just going to... How far away are they?
Not terribly far. Maybe about 5 feet.
No?
Is there somewhere dark nearby that Alastor could get to, but still be within, like, visual range?
behind you are stairs leading down. No real dark place in this area. On the other side of the illusory wall, sure, but here, no.
And I can't get through the wall.
This is great.
This is not good. This is not good.
I took her dagger. She doesn't have. Alastor doesn't have a dagger anymore.
Oh, you right? Oh no.
Alastor only has spells. And currently the only thing he sees is it being grappled, and firing into melee is bad.
Shocking Grasp is a potential advocate, although there is a cat apparently attached to the same body as the...
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. I'm not dealing damage to 2. That's not... Nope, not doing that.
Use your tall strength and punch it.
Just fucking slug the thing.
I want to see a 40-pound,
No.
6-foot Alastor punch this thing.
Bro, he's like 120 soaking wet. Are you... What? And he's got a strength of 12. It's not happening.
My strength is like 8.
He's grappled. How hard can it be to just punch the fucking thing? It's a cobalt.
Fine.
It's got-
Alastor's gonna try to slug it. It's not gonna do too well, but we're gonna try.
Roll a hit with advantage because you are flanking with Bella.
And it's prone.
It's not prone.
He's not prone yet.
Okay.
Come on, you can do it.
It's a 12.
That's good.
So you come up, ready to punch it. It's being held in place, and you give it a good punch against the jaw. But kobold jaws are sturdy. Your knuckles hurt a little.
I expected that.
Anything else, Alastor?
Oh, God.
Oh, this is phenomenal. I love it.
The stairs down, is there like another area that I could just move to?
The hallway with the traps.
But that puts me out of visual distance. Oh, no.
Oh my god.
I think I'm just gonna take a 5-foot step back and stop there.
Alrighty. Next up, we have the kobold who's going to try and break your grapple. You give me an athletics, and he's going to roll strength.
Oh, thank you for giving me +3 to whatever it is. I rolled a 16 +3, so 19.
Alrighty. And so the kobold is trying to fight you off so it can open its mouth and alert. But you're able to hold on, but only just. And you notice 2 little claws grab on past the illusory wall. Starting to pull himself up, we have kobold number 2, who uses his movement, gets up into the illusory wall, sees what's going on here, and you hear very loudly a sort of lizard shriek. A scream echoes through the cavern. Ketud, you hear this plain as day, and you know that that is coming from the direction of where you left the other 2. You can hear thunderous footsteps bounding towards you. Not towards you, Ketud, towards the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Nephylia. Nephylia is going to approach with her quarterstaff and make an attempt to strike this kobold that you have grappled. With advantage, because flanking. with a critical hit, dealing 15 damage. The kobold stops struggling and falls limp.
Whoa.
Critical hits, man. So, Bella, you can hear the thunderous footsteps. They're growing louder, they're quick, and they're coming towards you.
I don't know if they're intelligent enough to find this place. I'm going to draw my daggers, and I am going to stab this dude as quick as I fucking can.
Roll the hit.
Okay, here, let me see what equipment I'm using. Daggers, actions, okay. Okay, that's a natural 20 plus 5, so 25.
Alright, a natural 20 is a critical hit, so roll dice for that hit, double what's shown on the dice.
Okay. 2d4 plus 3, so 7, so 14. And then I also get to make a secondary attack.
It's
Because dual wielding.
it grows silent after your first dagger thrusts into it, but you can choose to still do your second attack.
I'm going to do my second attack and see if that kills it. Is it already dead?
It is already dead.
Oh, okay.
These are level 1 kobolds.
I very much imagine that I've just, like, immediately turned and slit the thing's throat, and it just drops.
Alrighty.
Alright.
So you hear the shrieking of the kobold. You drop the one that is now dead, thanks to your friend Nephylia. Turn around with your dagger, and almost like an anime, just quickly slice to the throat. It grows silent and falls dead.
Bella is going to very, very slightly just peek her eyes out. She's not going to peek anything else out. And going to see.
You see glowing yellow eyes. They're massive. They are surrounded by the silhouette of a reaper of death. The dragon approaches with haste towards your location. You shake with the ground with every step it takes. There's a breeze that passes you by like a soft wind every time it breathes. You can see rocks shifting and falling from above with every step, and its tail looms in the distance like a snake.
Can Ketud see this?
Absolutely.
Ketud's just gonna be like, "Oh shit!" moment, and he's not gonna move from his spot, but he's gonna snap his fingers and make the same exact noise, if he can, behind the dragon, in the opposite direction, using his minor illusion.
The dragon stops for a moment, turns and looks where the sound came from. You have one round. What is everybody doing?
Standing stock still, watching the dragon.
Bella is going to drop down, and she is now going to use the full Tabaxia mobility that she has and blitz to a different area. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
So you cause the problem and you run away?
Well, I mean, she's gonna kind of wave to Alastor and Nephylia. She's gonna drop down out of there, and she's gonna just blitz to somewhere that isn't there. Preferably
Alastor
to where
would-
you were.
Alastor would just use his Misty Step to teleport to wherever Bella ends up, and then just keep running.
Isn't it only 30 feet from Misty Step, though?
Yeah, it's only 30 feet, but
I'm sorry, I
he's
have
gonna get it. No, he's gonna get as close as he can and just keep running.
Bella's going to run until there's like a crack or a like stalactite or stalagmite on the side wall of the cavern that is a decent enough ways away, and that she's going to just kind of hide behind that.
Alrighty.
Oh, she's also gonna ditch that fucking purple cloak. There.
Alright. So Bella is running. Alastor, you misty step out in the same direction that Bella has gone and begin running as fast as you can. Bella, after... How far exactly can you run?
Let me do the calculation in my head. You said I had 1 round.
You have one round.
So I have an action, a bonus action. I've already recharged my feline agility, so I have 40 feet to double that, 80 feet. To turn, so 80 feet plus another 80 feet plus another, so 240 feet of movement.
Okay. At about 100 feet, you find a good-sized stalagmite that you can hide behind.
Okay. Is there anything else beyond that would be of the same aversion?
The wall.
Okay. At about 100 feet, she's gonna stop and kind of hide behind that.
All right.
And she's gonna... Well, since I'm not using the full... So, since I'm not using... I would only be using all of my movement and then an action to get there. I'm going to use my bonus action to stealth.
All right. Roll stealth disadvantage. Meanwhile, Alastor, you misty step 30 feet. You've got roughly 30 feet of movement. That is 40 feet too short of where Bella's gone. So you've got 30 feet to work with. Where are you going?
This... Basically, he's going to instantaneous take the 30-foot step, and then just keep booking it in the same direction. He's not worried about where he's going. He's just moving.
Okay.
By the way, that stealth check, I rolled a 16.
Alrighty. Ketud.
Because...
Since Ketud is on the opposite end of where these guys ran, I'm presuming, Ketud is just going to continue to watch the dragon and see what it does. He's stone stiff right now. He ain't moving.
Alrighty.
He didn't want the thing to move, and he's behind, like, I'm guessing he's behind some sort of not a pillar. There's no pillars in this place. Some kind of like obstruction. That's where he ran off to when in the first beginning he ran away and just kept on running until he found some kind of obstruction to hide behind.
I got you. Some kind of rock or something.
Yeah, and he's just standing behind the rock, looking at this giant dragon from his nightmares. Literally wake up and wondering what in the bloody snickerdoodle tarnation is happening over there.
Alrighty. Are you trying to hide behind this boulder, or?
I feel like I'm out of line of sight, so I'm not actively, passively trying to like stealth. I'm just standing stone still and unmoving, I guess, behind the boulder.
All right, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. All right. And Nephylia does something, but her actions are obscured by the haze. You do not know what she's done or where she's gone. And the dragon, you can hear the footsteps. You can hear a roar, a sort of rage. In each of you, you feel your stomachs drop. You feel a sense of terror. It must be an illusion. It has to be an illusion. Yet it's so real. And we're going to pick up here next week.
Ketud, or Nephilia's caught, guys. God dang it. I know what he did with Nephilia. Nephilia's going to be messaged, and she caught by the dragon. God dang it.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this week's installment of Forsaken Souls. Tune in next week to find out what happens to our heroes. Will they somehow find a way to survive in this dragon's lair? Will they defeat the dragon, or will they themselves perish? Tune in next Wednesday to find out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, if you're truly out there, good luck. Say goodnight, everybody.